Welcome to the Kenai National Wildlife Refuge. We're here at one of the public use cabins. This is the Kelly Lake cabin. And we got here, and this is about the same size, a little bigger than our house. So we thought maybe we would give a little tour of what these cabins are like. There are a bunch of public use cabins across Alaska, both the nationally owned ones. This is a National Wildlife Refuge. There's also national forests and other national owned, and then there's state parks and stuff. So there are lots of similar cabins. This one is kind of a design. I think this one was built in 2009, so this is their newer design. There's a handful of these around, and then there's a bunch of older ones too.
So we're a little north of Saldana. It's about half hour from where we parked our car. So we skied in yesterday, the half mile. Took us about 2 trips to ski all our stuff in with the babies and stuff, but it was a lot of fun, and it's a good location. We're right on a lake. You can reserve this in the winter and the summer.
Let's take a look. All right, so this cabin is 16 by 18, pretty typical log construction from the more modern cabins. These are like the fabricated logs, or they're like Lincoln logs. Pretty basic construction, 1-room cabin. There's a nice porch out front. It's probably like 6 feet wide with a couple benches, so that's nice. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward, and it's a good design. Doesn't need to be fancy. In the summer, there's a fire ring and a picnic table outside. The fire ring is kind of buried right now, so that's not a lot of use. This cabin is used year-round, and it's pretty accessible in the winter as well as the summer. It's along the Seven Lakes Trail, so there's a bit of hiking traffic in the summer, and in the winter it's more just people coming to use the cabin, a few people ice fishing and snow machining, but not as much. I was kind of surprised we haven't seen anybody the whole time we've been out here, so that's nice, even though it's pretty accessible, and that is one of the kind of downsides to this particular cabin. It's only half a mile from where you park your car, and so it's booked pretty solid. If you want to book this cabin, you need to do it in advance because it books up quick. Lots of people use it because it's so accessible and easy to get to, even in the middle of winter. We skied in, but you can just hike. The snow is not too bad. Other people snow machine or whatever, but skiing is a good way to go.
So this is the inside of the cabin here. It is 16 by 18. One of the best things about this cabin, I think, is it has lots of windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 windows plus the window in the door. So it gets a lot of natural light. It was really bright in here yesterday. So it has a stove. This is the source of heat. Also, you can cook on it, which is really nice. We cooked inside of it last night. There was some wood here, but we brought wood in. You never really want to count on there being wood here. Most of these cabins, they say you need to bring your own. The stove's nice because it has the flat top. We weren't sure, it wasn't really clear online whether you could cook on the stove. We assumed you could. They have the nice clothesline to hang stuff to dry. Luckily it was nice yesterday, so we didn't really get anything wet. It's got this kind of like kitchen area. This is just a nice flat space to be able to set up stuff and cook and everything like that. Comes with a fire extinguisher, which is nice. It says can sleep 4, but these beds that they have here, I mean, we shared this bottom bunk. It's probably a little smaller than a double, but we shared it just fine. So I think you could do more than 4 here, especially if you had kids that they can share easily. Yeah, there's 2 sets of these bunks that are bigger than a twin. They have a lot of hooks. There are hooks everywhere, which is super handy. You come somewhere and you have like so much gear, and there's never enough places to hang it all, to dry, and all that stuff. And like the hooks everywhere is so nice. There's lantern hooks, like there's one here over like your kind of kitchen area. There's a hook over the table area as well. This is a nice window. We watched the sunset out of this window last night. I think this is a really good size space. I mean, if you're thinking like, if you were gonna live here, could you live in this space? And I think definitely, you know, you could turn, you know, kind of actually put like a kitchen area in there, put in a bed, a couch. There's enough space here, I think, for like a couple to live and be quite comfortable and happy. I guess that's from our perspective. We live tiny. The benefits of like this compared to our space, it's wider. So you do get like, that's nicer to have wider space, but you also don't have divided space. There's advantages to both, and I think you kind of have to determine like what's the most important to you? Like, is it really important to have people over? And is it okay that you're having people over into your common space where your bed is right there? Does that bother you? And so you kind of have to determine that. Yeah, there's this other bunk here as well, same as the other one. There's this nice, beautiful table. It's very similar. There's a picnic table outside, same look. So very nice. So you can see where a couple people put down pans and made some burn marks on it. 2 benches, you could easily sit half dozen people here, I think. The floor is just like a hardwood, but it's like, it's probably just plywood, but it is painted, which is nice. It's nice to walk on, easy to clean. And speaking of cleaning, like for things like this, you're responsible for cleaning up after. So, you want to try and leave it better than you found it. It's kind of like when you stay at an Airbnb. A lot of Airbnbs will have logbooks. You can leave little comments. This is the current one. It's like 2022 to 2023. This one is 2021 to the summer of 2022. And it's really cool. It's nice to flip through. You can definitely see that little families use this cabin a lot. There's a lot of entries from families. People come out here with their dogs. You can book this cabin on recreation.gov. That's where you can book all like federal use cabins, campsites, that sort of thing.
Obviously the cabin is heated by wood, and you need to bring your own or plan on harvesting your own. Most people haul in some stuff. There is a lot of dead wood around. In fact, I think it was 4 years ago now, there was a big forest fire all around here. You can see that they worked hard to save this cabin because it's kind of in a little grove of the last remaining trees, and then it's dead everywhere all around. So there is lots of dead wood. You're only supposed to cut stuff that's been fallen down, but there's plenty of that if you want to work for it. When it's really cold, people were saying they used like up to 3 totes of wood. You can use a lot of wood when it's cold. It's been above freezing the whole time for us, so we haven't used very much at all, but a nice little woodshed. There are axes and saws out here, and those stay here, so you don't have to bring those, but make sure to bring fire starter. And if you don't want to spend all your time hand sawing your wood, go ahead and bring wood. And then this is what makes it camping, is there's no indoor plumbing. So this is the outhouse. It's actually a really nice outhouse as far as outhouses go. This one has like a snazzy, you want to watch the view while you're doing your business. So there you go. And you can still lock it. But it's nice, it does the deed. Bring your own toilet paper because there probably won't be any out here. There is another outbuilding here. It's locked right now. I think it's another outhouse. I've kind of peeked through one of the cracks, so I don't know if they just like to alternate them or if they have other gear stored in there over the winter, but there is another building there that you'll see in some of our shots. So what to bring? Count on there not being very much here, and bring what you would if you were camping in the wilderness, pretty much. So bring in your water, or if you're in the summer, you can boil the water from the lake on the stove, but that would take a bunch of time.
And I guess you could melt snow, but
yeah. So bring water. Bring your wood, obviously, bring your food, bring bedding, sleeping bags, and pads.
Toilet paper.
Yep. Toilet paper, any basic survival stuff, first aid stuff you want. So you can book this cabin for up to 7 nights. Consecutively. You can only have one reservation within 30 days, but that can be for up to 7 days. These are, good public use cabins. They're cheap. I think we paid $35 for the night. I don't know that if that's always the price or if it's a little more expensive in the summer. I'm not sure. They're affordable, and that's because people pack in and pack out. So clean up after yourself. Leave it as nice or nicer than you found it. Make sure there's some firewood in the shed, and that's what enables these to work the way they do. So keep them nice. Take advantage of Alaska's public use cabins, both the federal and state ones, and wherever you live. Most other states have similar things that are affordable and out in the wild. So take advantage of those.
And it's a great way to get out with your family.
Hope you enjoyed this little tour, and we'll see. We'll be dropping the video kind of on our experience out here, getting here, and what we did and stuff next week. So look for that.
All right.
See you next time.